Hello, hello, everybody, everybody. What's cracking? What's happening? What's going on? How is everybody doing? Guys, real talk right here. Just remember, you will never get the same value on stuff that you buy. You will never get the same value, guys. Never. Now, sometimes some people would pay a little bit more for antique stuff. You may get a better value, or you may not get a better value. Antique versus now is totally different, guys. There is no really a highly definition of antique anymore. And you can definitely see it. Hello, Huey. What's cracking? We're talking about value. I gotta go refill my cup. So, guys, when you buy things, when you buy TVs, you buy cameras, and especially if you buy a cell phone, you will never get the same value that you paid for at all. And it's super crazy to think about it. When my grandma was, when she was going through stuff that she had from my cousin, and oh my goodness, and he's growing up, he is like, at that point, she had a whole bunch of his little boys' clothes and stuff, and like just little stuff, toys that she bought. She bought him high-end toys. She bought him high-end clothes. She wants to have a garage sale, and she cannot have a garage sale without it being cheap. She has to have the products that she has for sale cheap, because she's not going to get the same value. My grandma has paid, like, again, name brands, name brand clothes that cost maybe $200 to $300. She's never going to get the same value out of that at all. And I told her, I said, these $300 shoes right here, you're going to have to sell them for like $20, because nobody's going to buy them. No one's going to buy them, especially if they've been used like 2 times. Not even pawn shops, guys, not even pawn shops would buy what the value is, because they know that they have to devalue it so that way they can value it. So if you have like $60 pair of shoes, you try to sell them at a pawn shop, and the pawn shop will only give you $25, but they're going to sell it for $60. So they will be, that's the way pawn shops goes, The same thing with cell phones, guys. Everybody spends so freaking much on cell phones. As soon as your cell phone breaks, and you tell them, here, how much can you give me for my old cell phone? Now, I'm not talking about iPhones, guys. I'm not talking about iPhone, because people trade off on iPhones. I'm talking about actual cell phones, Motorola phones, Samsung phones. They devalue themselves with anything. Their back screen could be cracked. You just bought your $400, $500 cell phone, and then bam, hits the floor and the screen cracks. You lost all value of that product. You just lost everything. Same thing with the TV, guys. You get a brand new TV. That TV somehow falls on the floor or your dog scratches it. Nobody wants to scratch TV. It devalued itself automatically. People sometimes repair TVs and stuff like that, but then they mark you up because you're trying to repair something that is unrepairable. You'll never get the same value, guys. You'll never get the same value on stuff. You buy a fridge, fridge that's $900, that has freaking maybe $2,000. You're not going to get the same value that you bought it from. Like I try to sell this cage. I didn't buy the cage, so the value on this cage could original, no, not been touched, probably like $900, $700. But yeah, I won't get that. I will not get that value. It's gonna devalue because it's been used. So they're gonna be like, oh, I want 200, maybe 150 for this cage. Everything starts to devalue itself, and then the value, like literally my surround system, I could buy a surround system for $900 to $600. All of a sudden it breaks down. Oh, it's going to cost you more to fix it than to get just another one. And then it's all like, well, it devalued itself because now you got to fix it more. Like, oh, everything loses its value, guys. You buy stuff, it loses its value. Some things, like I said in the beginning of the video, some things will be considered as antique. It's very rare. It's very, very rare where there's things that are considered antique that someone wants to buy. Because antique is around 50s, 60s, the old age. That's antique. But we're over here in 2024. You would think 15 years of whatever it is, it has a value of some sort. It's crazy. If there's a game that you've been, there's multiple games that I have seen at coin shops, and they have never been touched. That game has never been touched, so they sell it highly, highly expensive. But I guarantee you, if that game was touched and actually used, they would devalue it. It's not the same. You bought that game in 1982 and it was freaking what? Maybe $75. Back then, $75 was a freaking lot. $75 back then is probably like $900 now. And then if you do not touch the game and you never wanted to play the game like a normal game enthusiast, I really don't know why you would buy a game back in the 80s or 90s and not want to play it. Like, games, are there. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not even sure, bro. So somewhere around the world, there's a lot of human beings that have never touched their game, and they don't devalue it by playing the game. They just bought it. But if you touch it, it devalued itself, and you're not going to get the same money out of it what you paid for. Again, same thing of everything. Your vehicle, guys, your cars. You pay lots of money for your car. As soon as you get into a fender bender or a scratch, or you just total it, game over. All that money you spent on your car to get it fixed or to soup up your car, and then all of a sudden you just run into a pole, and then bam, devalued it, totaled it, no longer. Hello, Dimitri. Oh snap, we got Huey and Dimitri up in here. Guys, just remember, when you purchase something, it's not gonna be the same. Stuff like I have that's literally like Hot Wheels, guys. Hot Wheels can go fluctuate. All my Hot Wheels can devalue itself or value itself. It all depends. Now, Hot Wheels, I'm already over the fact that I'm not gonna play with them. If I was a kid and I have a Hot Wheel, I want to play with it. You know, I don't know the definition of not playing with something when you're a kid, because you see the car, you want to freaking do, you know, you want to play with the car. So my Hot Wheels may have more value just by sitting there on my wall. So you'll get either the same like, let's say I paid $1. Well, let's say I paid for a unique one, $5.99 at HEB. Very unique one. Well, the value could go down if I take that unique one out of the package. Or I could just keep it in the package for years, and then its value go up. That $5.99 that I paid at HEB is now $35, $25. So again, it could fluctuate. You're not going to get the same value. You know, you can get either low. Was that my name? Man, you can get low value of the price, or a big value of the price. It all depends. But yeah, that was my neighbor. Dang, he just smiling up in here. So all the little stuff that I have, they can either, the value can go up or they can go down, depending on who you talk to. It all depends on who you talk to. What I consider as a value to me may not be a value to someone else. It might be toys to someone else. To me, some things do matter. Some things I would pay top dollar for. If I came into my own house and I seen everything I have, I'll be like, I will pay top dollar for this. I really like it. You gotta find enthusiasts. Enthusiasts will pay you a good amount of value for something that you have. Some people are marketable and they're like, well, how much you want for it? Like, again, bargain, or like pawn shop thing. They ask you how much you want for it, and you tell them, you're like, well, I want this. They think of their business and they say, well, I'm gonna sell it to you for this. It's just like my deer head. My deer head over here. I don't know where. Okay, I can't zoom in. Okay, just like my deer head right here. The value on this deer head, if it was a taxidermy person that sold this, the taxidermy literally would literally charge me $900 to $800 for just this deer head. I didn't pay that, because where did I go? Where did I go to get this? This one I found at a pawn shop. The value of these things, of taxidermy stuff, you find at a pawn shop because the value is not that high. And they're thinking that, well, somebody wants to sell their deer head and they don't know who to sell it to, or they don't even know where to start, because they're not going to get the same value out of it. So they went to a pawn shop and they said, hey, how much will you give me for my deer head? Well, maybe 200, maybe 200. 200? Yeah. So they can probably sell it at 500 or so. And it's all like, okay, well, you know what? I really do need the money. I'll go ahead and sell it to you for 200. and bam. So the value either go up or down on certain things. Like a lot of things, guys. Let me go refill my cup. We're gonna be here just a tad bit longer because we had Huey and Dimitri up in here. Huey and Dimitri up in here. But yeah, guys, what do y'all think? What do you think, Huey? And what do you think, Dimitri? About value on stuff? Because people, you're never going to get the same value that you paid for. At all. You're never going to get the same value. You paid $20 for an item, and either somebody will lowball you or highball you. You either get the greater value of a product or you get less of the value of the product. It all depends on who you talk to, guys. It all depends on who you talk to. You talk to enthusiasts. If I talk to enthusiasts that is in Hot Wheels, then you're sure. If I talk to enthusiasts that loves anime, you know that I'm gonna get a good value out of it. They're like, oh yeah, I love this anime. I'll pay you this much for it. Because they're not willing, they're not gonna sell it at a high price. There's a comic book store that I know that has really good stuff because they buy and sell. So people pick up stuff off of garage sales and they'll go to the comic book store and sell a whole bunch of stuff because they just literally picked it up at a garage sale. Because the people don't know the value of it. People don't know it. But yeah, guys, I mean, anything you buy, anything, from TVs to computers, computer monitors, cell phones, appliances, guitars, unique stuff as well. Some things will consider losing value or you gain value. And again, it all depends. If I try to sell my appliances, a person, they're gonna want to devalue it. If I sell my appliances at an appliance store, they'll probably buy it. It all depends on how old it is and everything. Also, age matters, guys. Age does matter on a whole bunch of stuff. Like I was talking about antiques. Some people sell old antique swords and they sell them for a lot of money. Some people don't see a value. They're like, why would I buy an old antique sword? Like, why? But yeah, guys, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Just remember, you'll never get the same value on stuff. And thank you, Huey, and thank you, Dimitri, for being here. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.